Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores for week 3 of the 2020-2021 Premier League season. Now before we get started with this week's predictions, let's have a quick look back at how well we and you guys got on in week 2.
So last week, let's just say it was absolutely pathetic. I only had 3 points with no perfect scores.
For myself, I came away with 9 points, which was an improvement on the previous week. So overall, I'm on 12 points. So yeah, I'm fairly happy with last week's scores. And I had one perfect result, and that was the Manchester City 3-1 away win against Wolves. Representing the viewers last week was Alex Langhorne, and although Alex didn't come away with any perfect scores, he had actually 8 out of 10, so well done, Alex. Top scorer of the week for week 2 was British RTH came away with 11 points, so congratulations on that fantastic score. And talking about scores and results and league tables, here is the Bluebird Legend predictions league table, as you can see on the screen. And Ritz last week, he's actually moved up to 2nd position in the league table. Top of the pops, or number 1 in the charts, is Philip Alex for a 2nd week running, now on 20 points, just 1 point ahead of Ritz. As you can see now, Nathan, you are in, I think where are you? 42nd position with
That's
just the 9 points.
Drop that.
A drop for you. But myself, I'm in 27th position, moving up the leaderboard with 12 points. People in there, we see Robert Waldron on 12, Farius 77, Malugu, I think, Douglas James Horn, the dugout, on 12 points.
Friend of the channel,
Matthew Medley on 13 points, Brian 22, 13 points, Alex Langhorne, who represented viewers last week, is on 14 points. Tiji Maman Vegas dropped down slightly this week. David Redgriff, Harry Doherty, and Liverpool will win the title 2020 on 16 points. But Philip Alex in the league once again. But that's enough of last week and the table. Let's move on, make some predictions for week 3.
Okay, so first up we have the 12:30 kickoff on BT between Brighton and Man United. Now Man United, absolutely awful last week, got ripped apart by Wilfried Zaha, losing 3-1. I mean, looking at that performance, it was their first game of the season. They're looking like they're going to struggle this year, Man United. I mean, I did put them 6th, many people not happy about it, but I got a feeling this is going to happen, maybe even lower down than that. Who knows, we'll just have to wait and see with that one. Whereas Brighton, really good 3-0 win against Newcastle last time around. Neil Maupay was on fire, just absolutely ripping the Geordies apart, even with Newcastle being impressive in the game prior. But I think Man United will end up improving a little bit, but not enough. I think Brighton will continue to start the season strong, and I reckon it's going to be 2-2.
Yeah, interesting. Manchester United not getting off to the best of starts last week. Of course, they were 1 week behind everybody else, but a home defeat against Crystal Palace. Not sure what's going on there, Ollie. This week, coming up against a very tough Brighton side who had an excellent away win against Newcastle, the Magpies last time out. Maupay, absolutely brilliant up there in the northeast. So difficult to predict. However, I think Brighton are going to come out on top in this one. Of course, we saw Van der Beek open his account last weekend for the Red Devils, but I think this Brighton team this season under Potter has got a little bit about them. I think Man United are in Carabao Cup action as well this week. Probably Brighton are as well. I haven't actually checked those fixtures, so I'm going to go for a home win to the Seagulls. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. And I haven't looked at the stats, but I'm not sure how they actually get on against top 6 teams. So this might be a rarity for Brighton. So yeah, I'm going for a Brighton home victory 2-1 over the Red Devils. So next up, we got the one and only 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, live on Amazon Prime. This one, we got Crystal Palace up against Everton. At the moment, Everton find themselves in 2nd position,
superb starts the season.
Crystal Palace in 5th. Both are 100% record after 2 matches. Palace, of course, getting that great victory over Manchester United, and Everton having a brilliant victory last time out at home against West Bromwich Albion, where they were 5-2 victors in the end. I think they were 1-0
West
down
Brom
as well.
Just
but
collapsing at the end
calendar
of that
time, wasn't it? Rodrigo's absolutely brilliant. Calvert-Lewin getting a hat-trick. Okay, Everton did leak a couple of goals, and I expect against this Crystal Palace team, who have been very good since the start of the season, only albeit 2 matches. They're scoring goals, but I think Everton are going to come out on top in this one. It's going to be a brilliant game, possibly the game of the day, but I'm going to go for a 3-2 away win to the Toffees.
Interesting. I think this one's actually going to be low scoring. I think they're just going to end up cancelling each other out, but I can see Everton just nicking it in the last minute. Either Calvert-Lewin or Rodriguez will probably just nick one in the 97th minute or something ridiculous that it'll go to, so I'm going to say a narrow 1-0 Everton. Next up, we got West Brom versus Chelsea. Now, Chelsea losing 2-0 to Liverpool last time around. West Brom, well, what can we say about that, like we just discussed? Chelsea, Havertz hadn't had the best of starts, has he, really?
No, really slow.
And slow start. I think he's going to take him time to ease into the league, really. But West Brom already conceded 8 goals in 2 games. That's just not acceptable, especially for a start to the season. In a way, it was expected, but Chelsea are just going to rip that defence to shreds. West Brom, nothing going forward for them, and that defence is like a colander anyway. So I'm going to say 4-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, this season Chelsea have conceded 3 goals so far in the league. Will West Brom be able to penetrate that defence?
No.
Perhaps not, but I expect Lampard will be working on the defensive side of things in training this week. Havertz, as you said, has had a very quiet start. Timo Werner hasn't scored, albeit we've only had the 2 matches.
You watch him score
well.
a hat-trick this week.
You never know. I hope so. He's in my fantasy team, but yeah, I expect Chelsea to come away with all 3 points in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory to the Blues. Hal Cano scoring a couple of goals in the Carabao Cup as well at the moment, at the time of recording. Next up, we've got Burnley at home against Southampton. This takes place at 8 o'clock on Saturday, live on Sky Sports. Burnley last time out losing 4-2 against Leicester. Last season, of course, last few seasons, the success they've had has been built on a sturdy defence, but with the thinness of their squad this season, I think they had only some 16 fit players last time out.
Yeah, and that's if they lose Tarkowski as well, and they're in serious danger at the back. Southampton,
they haven't had the best of starts either. They're bottom but 1 in the table, so something's got to, Hassan Huttle's really going to have to turn things around down there on the south coast. Last time out, last season, the corresponding fixture was 3-0 to Burnley, but the way Burnley, I've been really surprised how the amount of goals Burnley have been letting in this season, so I'm actually going to go for an away win.
Really?
Yeah, last week there were 4 away wins in the league, and in week 1 there were 5 away wins. So this I'm going to put down as an away win, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory to Southampton to get their first points on the board of this new season.
Interesting. I'm actually going to go the complete opposite to you. I'm going to say a 2-1 Burnley. Southampton,
good difference of opinion.
They're not impressive. They haven't impressed me at all this season. Their defence is shaky as anything. Not really offering much in midfield. Danny Ings doing what he can to get the goals and everything, but it's just not working. So it's still early days. Anything could happen with it, but I don't know. I can just see Burnley. I can just see after that performance, Sean Dyche being like, right, we got to sort this defence out. So yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 to Burnley. And it's at Turf Moor as well, and Burnley just always win at Turf Moor, even though it doesn't really make a difference anymore.
Not at the moment, not without the fans anyway.
True indeed. Next up, we've got Sheffield United versus Leeds. Now, Sheffield United, only team in the league who haven't scored yet at all. No goals scored, 3 goals let in, poor start. In my opinion, and especially from last season. Is this second season syndrome for them? Coming up against the Leeds, too early to say, but coming up against the Leeds team, had an alright start to the season, scored 7 goals, but let in 7 as well.
Yeah, well, those 7 goals, they are the top scorers, along with Leicester in the league.
Indeed, but then again, can Bielsa sort out that defence? That is to be asked, but Leeds coming up against the side who they can really show off against, like they did against Fulham, providing that Bielsa sort out the defence this week, then I think this is I think Leeds will just about get through the strong Sheffield United defence. Think it's going to be 1-0 Leeds, and personally that's a really good start to a season from a promoted side.
Yeah, Leeds are looking good at the moment. However, they are coming up against a very resolute defence. I thought against Aston Villa, we know that Egan got sent off early in that
Quite a bizarre
match.
one that was as well.
Well, he did put him, but it was his second yellow card as well. But with that defence, and with hopefully keeping 11 players on the pitch, I think they are going to keep a clean sheet against this Leeds side who've already scored 7 goals in 2 matches. So going completely against the form and the grain I am with this one, I'll probably be eating humble pie after this one. I'll probably end up 5-5 or something. But I'm going to go for a narrow 1-0 victory to Sheffield United in this one. Incidentally, Nathan, this one is the first match on Sunday, taking place at 12 o'clock on BT Sport as well. So I'm going to go for a narrow Blades win. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory. Next up, we've got at 2 o'clock on Sunday, we've got Spurs at home against Newcastle. Lots of people last week expecting Spurs to go to Southampton, either get a draw or a loss, but no, they came away with victory. I actually predicted that, but not the amount of goals. Son on fire.
Oh, he was ridiculous.
Harry Kane absolutely magnificent with the assists and scoring goals. I think he did miss a penalty early on in that match. However, Newcastle, after a fine victory in the first game week, I think it was against West Ham, wasn't it? Last weekend, couldn't do anything. Brighton, very good against them. 3-0 victory, wasn't it? So in this one, I think Spurs are going to take all 3 points in this match. Gareth Bale's not going to be fit for it.
Shame.
He's not. I don't think he's going to be fit for at least another 3 or 4 weeks, perhaps.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
But he needs to get fit because him, Son, and Harry Kane up front, it's going to be mouth-watering prospect. Not sure where Lucas Moura will fit into that plan then.
Probably his backup, and it's looking like Dele Alli's going to be out of the doors.
Possibly, but I know Real Madrid don't want Dele Alli, so maybe Paris Saint-Germain, if they're rumours, but they're all rumours anyway. But in this match, I expect there to be goals again. I think Spurs are probably going to hit 3 in this one. They've still got a leaky defence, Spurs, so I expect Newcastle will get on the score sheet this time around. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to Spurs.
Interesting. I think it'll just be a bit narrower than that. Newcastle did win the reverse fixture 1-0, but looking the way they played last week, and their first match was against West Ham, so they could still be a bit patchy this season, especially at the back as well. So reckon Tottenham will keep a clean sheet, so 2-0. Next up, we got Man City versus Leicester, 4:30 on the Sky. Now, Man City getting a fantastic win against Wolves on last night, winning 3-1. Not many people expected it, really. Most people thought that Wolves would get something out of it because they always seem to beat Man City. Wolves.
They did last season with 2 victories.
Yeah, getting the double over them, that's very good. And Leicester destroying Burnley last time around. Once again, getting a strong start to the season, top of the table, 7 goals going in, only letting 2 in, which is fantastic for them. But I don't know, I fancy Man City in this one. Pep's going to want them to continue a good start to the season. There's going to be goals in this one, definitely, but I don't know. I can't see Leicester winning this one at all, and I think it's going to be 3-1 Man City. Yeah,
I totally agree. I think Man City are going to come away with all 3 points. I'm actually going to go 1 more goal to Man City in this one. They should have had a hatful the other night against Wolves. As you say, Wolves last season gaining those 2 victories with Manchester City, but the citizens chomping at the bit this season to get that title which they want so much back from. They want to wrestle back from Liverpool. I'm going to go for a 4-1 victory in this match. Leicester early leaders at the top of the table, but the likes of Man City, Man United have only played 2 matches, of course. So 4-1 to me for Man City against Leicester. Next up, we got a 7 o'clock on Sunday again on BT Sport. We got West Ham at home against Wolves. Wolves, of course, they lost against Manchester City in that match. West Ham, where do we start? They find themselves without any points. Okay, against Arsenal, Antonio getting on the score sheet there, but West Ham not getting destroyed at the moment, but they are in disarray, you could say, off the pitch with the arguments there. And I found out today that Dave Moyes has been tested positive for
demonetised virus.
That one. We won't say anything.
Along with Issa Diop as well.
Yeah, we won't say what it is, but you know what he's got.
Yeah.
Whether he's had any symptoms, I don't know, but he's been tested positive. So he's not going to be there. Whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But ultimately, I think Wolves are going to keep a clean sheet in this one. And I think they'll score 2 goals. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory to Wolves.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same as you. No way West Ham are going to be in with a chance of this one. I mean,
tough start to the season for West Ham.
Really tough start to them. They'd never do well at the start of the season anyway. Just 1 goal ahead of Sheffield United for the worst goals for rate in this season. Not getting any goals either. Awful in defence as well. Letting in 4 goals. I mean, 2 last week and 2 the week before. Really not a good start for them. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 Wolves. Next up, we've got Fulham versus Aston Villa. Now, Fulham's defence, shocking as ever. Losing 4-3 to Leeds, just a calendar at the back once again. I mean, last 2 times they've been in the Premier League, their defence has been absolutely awful. Aston Villa getting a very good victory against Sheffield United last time around. Really tough nut to crack, but they were able to get through. And I think Aston Villa are going to make it 2 out of 2 for their start to the season. And I'm going to say 2-1 to Villa, but I think Mitrovic will probably end up getting a goal, but the Villa strike force will just be too much for the Fulham defence. Can see Ollie Watkins maybe getting a couple.
Interesting. Yeah, I think this is possibly the most difficult match of this game week to predict. I can actually see Fulham winning this one. However, I'm not going to predict that. I'm going to predict a very unlikely away victory to Aston Villa. Very trepid with this prediction. I think they will come out victorious 2-1 in the end. But Mitrovic scoring a couple of goals last week. Ollie Watkins up front at the moment. I think he still needs a bit of sharpening up front at the moment. He's probably still bedding himself in. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory. That win against Sheffield United probably boost their confidence.
100%.
And they won in the Carabao Cup last week. I'm not sure they're getting on this week though. Final match of the weekend though. This is on Monday at 8:15 live on Sky Sports. We've got the big one, you could say, Liverpool at home against Arsenal in the Community Shield, of course.
Yep.
Arsenal coming out victorious.
Yeah, shocking everyone that.
Yes. Liverpool now, Thiago on the middle of the park. He made his debut in the last fixture coming on at half time, and I think I read a stat somewhere he actually made more passes than the whole of the Chelsea team or something in that second half, something ridiculous like that.
Insane.
Or he made more passes than any Chelsea player, and he only played for half the match. I think that was it. So I'll have to check up on that again. But coming up against an Arsenal team, 2 victories, find themselves in 3rd position. Only conceded 1 goal as well, but they are coming up against the champions in this one, looking almost irresistible at the moment, Liverpool. I think Liverpool are going to sneak this one. They're going to be wanting revenge after that Community Shield reverse. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, but a very, very tight victory at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go for a 3-1 to Liverpool. I just think the other patchy bits in the Arsenal defence will just come back to haunt them. I mean, if the likes, is Mustafi's not in there.
Well, Gabriel's there. He scored on his debut, but last weekend they did concede late on. I think it was against West Ham. Because this is really the game for Gabriel to shine, and I imagine that Liverpool would be preparing for that, but then it's the other weak links that you've got considerable. David Luiz be playing and bottling it. Will Jota be playing for Liverpool?
Will Jota come on the pitch? But I don't think so somehow. But that's a good signing for Liverpool, that for squad depth and everything. But I don't know, I just fancy Liverpool in this one. Salah, Mane, Firmino just going to get through every time. So 3-1 Liverpool.
and of course Mane scoring 2 goals as he does away from home, and it seems that Salah scores at home. So considerations for a captain there for your fantasy football team. So that concludes our predictions for week 3 of this, the 2020-2021 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description if you'd like to play at home and join our little league. Then make sure you leave those predictions, and like the likes of British RTH, you could get a shout out in the next video. On Friday as well, I'll be picking somebody at random to represent you guys, the viewers, too. But before we go, Nathan, now, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, Cardiff City versus Reading live stream this Saturday. Make sure you're there. Sub to my channel, link in description below as always.
And hopefully Cardiff will gain another vital win.
Fingers crossed. I mean, top of the table. Going to be difficult.
Yeah, it will be. Thanks as always for watching. If you're new around here, remember to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming video. But for now, we'd like to both bid you farewell, and we'll see you in the next video.